Hi, I'm Pam Werth, and I'm one of the volunteers at the Markesan Library, but I'm also one of the many card makers in the Markesan area. We wanted to share with you that the library has a die cutting machine, which can be used for card making, it can be used for scrapbooking, and any other paper crafts. And we want to show you how to use this machine because it's available in the meeting room downstairs at the library right now. The die cutter I'm using is from Stampin' Up, but there's Big Shots, there's different kinds of die cutters, and I want to explain how this works. This die cutter comes with 4 sets of numbered plates. There's a number 1 plate, which is the base, and that usually goes down first in your die cutter. Then, if you're going to do a plain, simple die cut, you put down plate number 2, which is also white, on top of 1. And then you put plate number 3 down, and then you finally put in your paper, and then you put in the die cut, which the die cut you put upside down so it cuts the paper, and then you put number 3 on top, and you just crank it through. Now some people just crank it through once, but others like to do it, have it roll right back to get a stronger cut. And you might hear some cracking sounds, but that's normal. And you have your die cut. This happens to be a rose wreath, which I've got another one that I had done earlier to show you on a white card that's what it looks like. So that's one of many die cuts that are here at the library. After we got our die cutter, we had people volunteer, donated die cuts, they donated embossing folders, they donated combination die cuts and stamps, which is a whole different fun thing to do, but we wanted to share with you again how to use the die cutter. Now, in our classes, last month, we did, this is a multiple die cut. We have lilies here and a rose here, and this is one way to use up your scrap materials. If you've done any card making, you get scraps real quickly. So this is one way to use that up, and they make beautiful cards. One of this, I have it backed on a flower background, and another one just on white so you can see the detail. So some of the die cuts are real lot to them, and some are very simple, and that's just the basic die cut. Then if you want to do an embossing folder, you put down plate 1, and then you put down plate 3, you don't use number 2, and then you put your embossing folder. This is going to do raindrops on blue paper, and you put it in your machine so the folded edge goes in first. Then you put, I gotta look because I'm forgetting, you put number 3 on top because this isn't that thick. And you just crank it through the machine. And then you take it out, and you have your embossed paper. I don't know if you can see it, but it is raindrops. And this one, you really don't get any scraps per se, except maybe around the edges. This die cutter takes 6-inch wide paper, and so if you get 12 by 12 paper, you can cut it into 4 sections of 6 and use that for different backgrounds. We have other die cuts folders. We have one that looks like bamboo shoots with raindrops, and another one that just looks like bamboo shoots. But just to know that the library has all of these die cuts for your use. And we have paper and we have cards, and glue and all of that stuff for you to use when you come. So happy die cutting.